Welcome to Change the Narrative. This is Kim.
This is Lamb. What up? What up, world?
What's up, Lamb?
Hey, man. Well, today we have a special guest. This person hailed from the jewel from Belize, BZE. You know what I'm saying? He's been putting it down for music for the flag for a very long time. You know what I mean? I personally feel that he haven't really got his due, and it's about time we reintroduce this individual to the nation, man, and let him know that hey, he got new music coming out. You know what I mean? He got that fire coming through. So, look out for him. And, hey, man, there's no further ado, man. Let's check him out, man. My man, Nego HIGHTS. What's up, Nego?
Blessed, and greetings, one and all.
Yes, I am.
What's up, man? How you been?
Hey, we just been living life, facing the struggle like everybody else and making the most of it.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
for
sir.
sure. That's for sure. Well, why don't you start off by just telling the world a little bit about you?
Well, it is I, Nego HIGHTS, the warrior. I say, first of all, I'm a human being. I'm a black man, Belizean, born, raised, reggae artist at this point, living in the US, still representing for the homeland, still have love for my peoples. Right now, we're deep in reggae music, whether it's dancehall or reggae, but we're definitely deep in the music right now. We grinding hard to drop a new project. First project was dropped in 2013, Judgment Morning. So right now we're getting ready to release our next project. This is going to be a dancehall project called Top Secret. So we definitely trying to take it up a notch to another level and get on the world stage and compete with the big dogs, so to speak.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, Nego, so tell me, man, let's get it back to the grassroots, man. Where exactly in Belize are you from?
Well, I'm from the northern part of the country, as some people call it, but I call it the central part of the country. I'm from a village called Biscayne, which is like right on the northern highway between, I'd say, the Crooked G Junction and Sand Hill to be kind of exact,
Yeah, I got an aunt out there, man. I got an aunt in Biscayne right now, man. So, I finally know what Biscayne is when I went out there.
Yeah, man.
Yes, so you're from Biscayne. So what high school did you came out of in Belize, man?
I graduated from EPR, which is Sec 1 as them call it, Edward
EPR.
Yeah,
So you familiar? So I got a bunch of my boys down there, man. Eldon Baptist and Jeremy
That's
Gill
my
and those
cousin.
guys, man. Eldon's
That's
your
my
cousin?
cousin. Yeah.
Oh, man, small world, man. That's my dog, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Eldon's my cousin, man.
Yeah, that's my dog,
Yeah,
man.
Edward and
Yeah, that's my man. So what's up, man?
Now, Nego, you and I go way back. And
Oh yeah.
one
I
of the
mean, because
things that I'm curious
we've been in the
about,
same circle for a long time because we like sports. We like the things
That's
that
right.
we do in the villages. Like on the weekend, we hang out, go to sport events and that kind of stuff. Whether it's soccer, cricket, baseball, softball, whatever it is,
That's
volleyball.
right.
We out there doing it. So it's always been around in the community and always been building links with neighboring communities. So I mean, for me, it's just a joy.
Right. So how do you got into the music? Like how do you motivate you to get into the music to start with?
It's a crazy story, bro. For me, the music came out of like some serious events. For one, I had a favorite artist that inspired me all through high school, and when I got to the point of graduating and leaving and coming to America, he started making some type of music I wasn't proud of and I didn't expect of him as a Rasta virgin. I was like, yeah, this is not the type of thing. And then it kind of pushed me to think to myself that if my favorite artist is going to be making this kind of music, then I should be probably making my own music then, because then I'm no longer impressed with the quality of work that he's putting out. I mean, as far as lyrical content. And so I started writing and start just, practicing to myself and feeling stuff. And then one day, like, luck would have it, you're out in the streets and things reach you eventually. And I found myself in a place where I was locked up for a minute and I was faced with a bag of charges and these type of thing. And It looked like it would have spiraled into about like 15 to 20 years. Wow. And so while I was in there, I say, yo, Father, so we grow up different, we bring up different, we know better. Certain things is not, I shouldn't be here then. This shouldn't be me. So in there, I had time to reflect for a minute and I was like, Father, if me ever walk out of this right now, it's like a whole different meditation, a whole different me, a change being, change individual, So, like miracle, end up get someone and say, yo, forward to the front desk, got my stuff, and I was like, get out of here. I would say, what? You sure?
Right.
And it was like,
Yeah.
yes, get out of here. So
Right.
me, reached back to the block and I, sleep that night, woke up next day, someone, my brethren, them, about like 15 of us. And I was like, yo, brethren, good news and bad news. Good news is I'm free. Bad news is I'm leaving
You out.
whatever it is that caused me to be where I was,
Right.
So,
Okay.
and that includes friendship. If you all are not serious about making a change to, I'm willing to lose friends for this, because
Right.
at that point I realized that coming from a small village, one main road, now you're in the
Right.
big cities with all these lights, all these highway, all this major stuff, and you have this opportunity where you could be anything or you could become great and successful. And here it is. I was about to throw that away and throw away my whole entire life and everything my mom struggled so hard to build within me as a human, the character, to build this character that I was, because I was supposed to be this decent, law-abiding
Law-abiding
citizen based on what
citizen.
my mom did,
Word.
So
Word.
so I started reflecting on all these things, and I was like, at some point I can't find myself going back to Biscayne in a box, and I can't find
Right.
myself going back to Biscayne depending on nobody with my hands to my side. I'd be like, I can't help myself, or I ruin an opportunity that people would die for in some other countries. So I told myself, like I promised the Most High, I said, if I ever walk after this, I'm gonna use my whole life to be a positive influence to people. Be the voice of reason, influence people, enlighten people, educate people on certain things, and especially youths that were going through the things that we were going through at the time, and youths that are prone to try the things that we've tried and done.
Right.
So once I relate that to my friends, everybody laughed and they thought it was a joke, and it was like, yeah. Tomorrow you're going to be out here with us banging again. This time I was like, no, bro, it ain't gonna happen. So I went home that day and I told him this the next day, and I had my braids in and stuff, and I loosed my hair out the same day and I started twisting it up. And so my guy was like, yo, we're going to get some food. He's like, what you getting? He said, yo, we're getting some fried chicken. I said, I'm good upon the flesh, load the flesh. Done with that. We don't want no more flesh. Because then I told him it's like the beginning of a spiritual journey, and it had everything to do with my diet, my friends, my meditation, and everything that I was doing before. It was a total change. Like I had to purge everything.
Yeah, the whole circle got to be purged.
Yeah, the whole thing. I had to reconfigure my whole life and where I was at and what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And so
we get that discipline from them. Like that just come naturally, bro. Like the way you sounding right now is like I wish people back home, I mean, they'll be hearing this, but to come in that vibes, like this is what I'm going to do and actually do it. You know what I mean? You're saying it, you know what I mean? But you don't understand how hard that is mentally.
I kind of find that too, because a lot of people tell me that it's impossible, you can't do it. And I was like, what you mean you can't do it? I'm in control of this vessel, I'm in control. And that's the thing. I think that's one of my strong points as an individual. Like I realize that I'm in control, and whatever happens to my body is like I'm the one that's responsible for it. So I tend to, if I say I'm going to do this, then I do it, especially when it comes to my body. Or if I tell you that over 20 years I haven't taken any medication or do anything like that because I chose not to. And I told myself I'm not going to bend on that. And it's just like about probably a year now, I told myself I was going to stop drinking juice and anything with sugar in it. I don't care if it's natural juice. I don't want it, just water. And I've been doing that ever since. The thing is the discipline, I think, comes from my upbringing too, because my mother was Seventh-day Adventist, brother, and that means if the sun set Friday evening at 4:30, you better in the house, and everything lock off, everything pertaining to the word lock off.
Right.
So I mean, I guess that was a part of the discipline that I got from growing up, the upbringing. It allowed me to be this disciplined person where if I said I was going to do this or I'm supposed to do this, then it's done.
Right.
So I mean, for me, when I said I was going to cut off friends, I cut off friends. I stopped doing everything that contributed to where I was at that time. And I just started doing music, and I start writing more. I start buying like them yellow notepads, and I start just flipping them like every 2-3 weeks. I was going through like one of them, just writing stuff. And I used to take the train every day to go to work, and I would write on my way, like a whole hour and a half ride. I would write, come back home and even write, just write. And I wasn't even recording what I was writing, but I was putting melodies to them. I was practicing. I was, that stuff. And then
so who taught you that? Who taught you how to put words together? Put words together is fine, but actually how to harmonize, put melodies, and actually put on a beat, put on wax. How do you get to that point?
How did you get from writing to recording?
The thing is, I realized that there was a trick. Like as humans, we learn when things are catchy and repetitive. So I start making these little hooks that were just so catchy that if a child heard it, they would start singing. And anybody hear it, it would just catch on to them, because I realized like all the nursery rhyme songs and all that stuff had something about it where you hear it once and it's like you're hooked.
Yes, catchy.
So I tried to kind of like mimic that style of writing when I started doing hooks, and then I went to I at that time I was hanging out with Donkey Man Hart, and I told him I was like my interest in music, and he was like, man, you should just come on one day, I'll record you. And I was like, for real? The great Donkey Man, you gonna record me? I've never recorded anything before, you know. I'm nervous, I'm scared, everything, but I want to do it. And he was like, just come by. Went over there and we recorded something. I told him I had this one song I wrote and me and him could do it, and he was like, okay, fine. And I thought he was just saying that just to, you know, to egg me on. And then he was like, no, for real, we're gonna do it. And then he did it. He did his part. He was like, yo, he's like, yeah, I like how you write. I like nice lyrics, this, that, because I wrote it and he sung the part I wrote and everything. And it was like, okay, your turn now. And I went there and I tried it the first time and second time and third time. And like by the fourth time, I was like, okay, I'm getting the hang of this. I like it. He's like, yeah, just keep on going. Don't worry about nothing. This is a studio. Make all the mistake you want. Fail if you want. But this is where you're going to learn. So it became a thing where from that day, it became like a drug. Like every day, faithfully, I was over there like clockwork. Like just constantly just, you know, so me and him just started doing a whole bunch of work together till I got comfortable with it, and it just got to a point where I realized, okay, this is nice now, I need to move on to something else. So then I met this other brethren, and you know, he was doing like a project and some other stuff, and he was like, I got some nice reggae rhythms and I want to get them to you, and we start going from there, and that's how it really started until, you know, I started buying my own equipment and building my own studio at my house.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow. Well, shout out to Donkey Man, for real. That's what's up. That's a serious story.
Definitely,
man.
Bro. Definitely. I never leave him out, bro. I never leave him out. That's like my good friend. I talk to him regularly too. Because I respect him for going out on a limb and giving somebody like me a chance. Because when they were seeing me in the streets, it was just like he could have just like, he just one of them little thugs, you know. He just you know, and then, you know, but I always had this respect for my elders and for the fact that he was doing something great and admirable, because he was an artist. He was Belizean, and he was doing like drop down and all that, and I was proud of that because I'm Belizean, so I'm proud of that. So I always respected him, you know. So I never passed him without saying hi or whatever. So it was one of those things where it was like it was just destined to happen, you know. Yeah,
blessing came unknown. So
for sure.
I'm curious, where did Nego Heights, the name, come from?
All right, well, the name Nego, I took it from the word Negos, which means king. And then the heights was just because I told myself that I have elevated above everything else that had me where I was. It was just a different meditation. My mind was never on this level anymore. It was just like gone. It was up top of the clouds. Just different meditation. You know, so it was just the heights I was holding. You know, it's different meds, different things. So yeah,
that makes sense, man.
Nice.
That's dope. That's dope. So, what was the first? What year? What's the first track that you actually put out on what?
The first track we put out was like in 2008 on this Garrison Tech label with a virgin named Hot Ice. There was a song named Get You, and the next song, I don't even remember what the song name, to be honest. I got the CD right here, but it's just been so long. Some things I just want to kind of like forget that I did that, because I listened to it. I was like, damn, I really did that. Why did they let me do that? You know? But I mean, you have to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere. That's what I'm about to say. You got to start somewhere, man. It's not where you start, so where you end up. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I look back and I give thanks for all those opportunities, though, because without those, I don't think I would be here. I wouldn't be sitting here with you having this conversation, at least not this conversation, you know, in this moment. So
tell me, man. So tell me some of the people that you actually work with over the years, man, just to catch a vibes with that. Like, who were some of the artists that you work with? I've worked with
a lot of Belizean artists. I've worked with Ernestine. I've worked with Denise. I did a show with Tanya Carter. I did a song with Denise. I did one with Ernestine. I did one with Ras Indo. I did one with Nello. I did one with Taprick. I've shared the stage with most of them, from LJ to the Carl Smiths to the Donkey Man to whoever you could think about in the Belizean circle as far as them goes. I've worked with Sergeant Remo. He's from Texas. I've worked with Soulfire. He's from Texas as well. His people are a mix of Haitian, I believe, and something else. I've worked with Jafabia out of Mexico. I've worked with this brethren with us called Fidel Nadal. He's in Argentina. He's like the Capleton of Latin America. That's how huge
Oh,
he
wow.
is. And
Okay.
right now we have a song called Real African that's about to be released too. Me and him. I've worked with Turbulence. I've shared stage with from General Smiley to Papa Michigan to Sizzla Kalonji to Richie Stevens. Just a whole lot of people, man. It's just like, you know, I mean, I've been blessed to be in the circle of great ones and great people, you know, as far as reggae music go, like that are known. I mean, like I said, everything happened for some, I'd say, crazy reason, but it's a reason that I appreciate, because even when I met Turbulence and we ended up working together and did a song, and he was like, yo, Nati, needed to do this tour with me, and we went on the road. We went to Kansas. We did a show in Chicago, and then talked to his manager, and we had lined up something for 2020 that was supposed to be in Africa, but apparently COVID changed all that.
Yeah.
So it's like an opportunity that's been put on ice, but we still maintain a very good relationship where we link and reason from time to time and that kind of stuff. And like I said, I have good relationship with Papa Michigan, General Smiley, all of them. And these are like people that are like veterans. Papa Michigan and General Smiley are like serious veterans in the business. And, you know, I remember meeting Papa Michigan the first time we performed on a show together in Texas. And I performed just before him. He closed the show, and I performed just before him. And I came off the stage. He was like, "Youth, you're bad. What's your name again?" And I was like, "Nego HIGHTS." And I said, "Yeah, man, take my number." I was like, "What?" Papa Michigan giving me his number, you know. So I mean, but you get to realize that when you out there on the road, it's like your colleagues. You're like in the same workforce, you know. So
those are your peers,
so. Man, I mean, it's just an awesome opportunity, and I give thanks for every bit of it. You know, the journey has been great so far to me.
Right. So, have you performed back home yet in Belize? Have you done anything back at the crib?
Yeah. In 2017, I went down there and I actually did a little performance at Edward PR, because I graduated there. I know they allowed me to bless them with something, you know. So that was it was an awesome experience. I mean, I didn't expect to even do that. It was like breathtaking. You know, I didn't expect that at all. But once I got there, I went there like on a Friday evening, and they were like, whatever. We're glad to see you. And I see most of the people that I graduated with were teachers at that point back there, and all that was like, you know. And I was just giving out my CDs and flyers and stuff, because at that point I had my album and it was nice and packaged, like real professionally done. So I mean, with barcodes and everything, like it could be in stores. So when they seen it, everybody was so impressed. It was like, you gotta come back and perform. I was like, man, I would love to. So I ended up doing that, and one Wednesday morning they had the assembly, and they told me like, "There, your time. Do what you got to do." It was a blessing for me, man. It was one of the happiest moments ever, you know.
That's dope, man. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So like, you know, so we both are athletes. We both played. Like I played for the Belize national team, won gold, my multiple gold medals in Belize. Traveled, played college ball, did all that myself. And you know, she played softball for Belize. She won gold for Belize as well. But one of the things that we trying to get across is to the youngsters is how to get out of the situation that we're in. So what is the big setback right now with music in Belize, bro? Like, how is it that we have all this talent coming out of Belize, but yet none of us can't get that break to make it to the next, the higher level? Like, what you think is the biggest setback right now in regards to Belize music?
In my opinion, the biggest setback is the artists themselves, because we in a society where, and I'm saying this because I've been there, where everybody seems to be handicapped because they're so used to getting a helping hand from somebody in some office somewhere, some politician or somebody, and they tend to they tend to not push themselves to the next level. Bro, I tell people, I'm here in America, and as it might seem like everything is cheaper here, but it's not exactly cheaper here, because you have to pay for everything here.
Pay for everything.
In Belize, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that would do you favors and be like, yeah, just come on, do whatever. Here, it's not that. And I had to do my album all by myself. I didn't get help from anybody.
So you finance that straight out of your pocket, like no help.
Everything by myself. We created a label. Me and a virgin of mine created our own label and everything. And so we've been working together ever since. Zadi Wadada, you know, his dad had a label all the way back in like the 70s or something, the 80s. And me and him decided to, you know what, it'd be a great idea to just rekindle it and get it going. So now we have Dove Music, and that's the label that I'm a part of. But artists in Belize tend to not have that motivation and that drive because personally, I feel most of them, or a lot of them, are in love with the wrong part of the music, and that's the hype that comes along with the music and the fame that comes along with the music. Everybody knows
Right.
you, and that's what they want. If that's what you're looking for out of the music, you're not going to have the motivation and drive to be great at music. The thing is, you have to want to build legacy. You want to have to leave a mark that your people can be proud of you. If you're doing it for the hype or just for the self-glorification or for the, I'm going to get X amount of girls because I have a song that's playing on the radio and everybody know me, you're not going to go anywhere.
Right.
You have to have the drive to be up at night at 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning researching how do I get my music outside the walls of Belize? How do I get my music to the world? Google is your best friend. That's why I keep telling every artist, Google everything you need to know that you don't know about music, how to get your music outside of Belize. When you look at Belize on the globe, it's just like a tiny dot.
It's a dot, yeah.
So my thing is, I don't market myself to Belize or to Belizeans per se, not because I don't want to, but because I realize that wouldn't be the best thing for me.
Right.
It wouldn't be the best thing for my brand, for my name, for my music, for my career. If you want your stuff to become stagnant and go nowhere, do that. Because people down there, they're not booking you for shows. They're not buying CDs. They're not streaming your music and none of that. So that the quickest way to kill a career.
But why is that culture like that, though? That's what I'm trying to understand. Why? So in Belize, they were quick to fly in a Jamaican artist, pay this Jamaican artist X, Y, and Z, and it's fine with these guys paying these guys whatever. I'm not hating on that. That's fine. That's how.
No, that's their job. They need to get their money too.
But why is it that that's not trickling down to a local Belize artist? Why is it that a local Belize artist is not getting paid for their work, or you know what I'm saying, or not being recognized just like these guys? I mean, what's what I'm missing here with this link?
In my opinion, there's two things. What we don't have is we don't have artists that are dedicated enough to actually present a total package that can't be denied. It's like you get an artist that might sound good, they might have a drinking problem or discipline problem. They can't be talked to, they can't be controlled. You know, they might not present themselves on stage properly. Like the thing is with music, it's an entire package. Your attitude got to be right. Your work ethics got to be right. You got to be dressed properly. When you step out on the stage, people should be like, whoa, who is this? I want to see this person again. Your stage performance have to be on point. Like when you come out on the stage, it's got to be a bang. The artists you remember are the ones who do great on stage, look great on stage, sound great on stage. You don't remember the artists that just came out there and made a mess of themselves and just look as raggedy as anybody else. So these are some of the things that I think we have to work on. Secondly, we have a problem as a nation in supporting our own, and this is not new. It's like you could sell fried chicken, but they'll pass you to go to a Chinaman a mile away to buy their fried chicken.
So we just have that
problem. And I believe this is something we should start teaching in social studies, the economics involved in supporting your own and building your own communities. Correct. You know, keep that money within your circle and build your stuff and have everybody eat. I believe this is something we should teach in social studies in school. How important it is to rely on self and how important it is to support self and your own kind before anybody else.
Right. This is what we try to promote right now. You know, we try to promote our own. You know, so, but the thing about it, man, you can only teach so much. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like I said, there's a culture that's built down there.
It's a culture at this point.
It's complete opposite. And for you to break that cycle, you know what I mean? It's like you kind of like, you got to catch them when they're young. It's going to take a lot of learning. Exactly. You got to catch these people when they're young because we could be talking to them about X, Y, and Z. But if this is how it is, this is how they do business on it, that's how they do business. And that's how
it's a lot of misconception, though, because think about it. This is some of the biggest misconception. Every DJ want to be like the DJ that influenced them.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you learn from that DJ and you don't apply it to your community and your people and your artists, then you have failed. Because the thing is, if I'm influenced by Stone Love and I want to be like Stone Love, and there's nothing wrong with that, because if they're great at what they do, there's nothing wrong with you to want to be great at what you do or be better than them. The problem is Stone Love didn't go to Trinidad and pick up Trinidad artists, didn't go to Haiti and pick up Haitian artists, didn't go to the Virgin Islands, didn't go to Belize, they picked up Jamaican artists and they used them to do their. So what the thing is, they like the fast messenger. They saw the first part, never finished or watched the whole thing, so they jump up and they start doing the same thing. You can't be the next Stone Love. So what you could do now, apply this to your community, to your artists, to your people, and you bring Belizean music to the forefront, and you do that because then that makes what you do that much more original, because can't nobody say you copying them or you comparing to them or anything like that, because you're doing something that's totally original, because this is not their made music, it's music that made at your place. So, I mean,
it's just the same template. That's all you're doing.
Exactly, and there's nothing wrong with that, because like I always tell people, if a black man create on the moon right now, create anything on the moon, that's for me too, because I'm black. So anywhere we are as black people, create anything, that's for all that represents all of us as black people.
Correct.
So I'm not worried about, oh well, I'm Belizean so I can't do reggae, or I'm Belizean I can't do soca. Foolishness. If a black man do it, create it, it's for all of us, anywhere we are on earth.
So I know this because I was listening to some of your songs, man. They sound pretty dope, you know what I'm saying? But you mentioned that you transitioned from the roots reggae, which is some of the songs that I was listening to, to dancehall and so forth. So how do you make that transition? Is it a difficult switch, or like how that happened, man? Because it's to me it's two different genres. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's not that hard, because most of my influence growing up was dancehall. I mean, I always had a strong dancehall, but at the same time, with my journey and my spiritual journey, when I first came into the business, I saw the urge and the need to make a stand on that kind of a platform where it was all this positive roots kind of a music where it would transcend a greater audience. You know, the dancehall thing is like, I call dancehall like disposable music, so to speak, because the thing is, the songs last about maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months if you get a hit, maybe a year. But after that, if you don't drop something else, it's gone, and like they forget about you. Nobody remember, you know. But the thing was with dancehall is because I realized that a lot of young people are being influenced by dancehall music. So I figured that with the situation being what it is, for us to make a change, we have to hit the young people, because for some of the older and the more mature folks, the horse is already out the gate and we can't turn it back. So there's no change in them. So I decided that we will start attacking a little bit further down the line and see if we could make a change there. Because the thing is, for example, in my my dancehall album, it has a lot of songs like this album, Top Secret. The song Top Secret, the leading track, the title track, actually is talking about, I mean, I'm sure everybody heard about the female that works on the news or whatever in Belize, that somebody leaked their sex tape and all that stuff. So this whole song Top Secret came about because of that particular because I was making in this song is I'm telling people that if you and a woman are in something as a man, it's top secret. It's not the world's business. The world don't need to know this. I don't care what happened. You know, I mean, be a man about it, and you got to protect your females. And this is why my music is different from most. It's dancehall, but it's not the typical dancehall. For example, you know, I don't.
So there's a message behind it. There's a big message behind it.
Positive, you know, it's clean and positive. Like your grandma can listen to it, my daughter can listen to it. I mean, the thing is, it's here to work on your mind. It's here to bring a change and an awareness to the fact that not because there's dancehall, it has to be some vulgar, rude kind of a, you know, next level of stuff that. You know,
I think it's so ironic you say that, man, because it's like you got to go back and teach to me stuff that's supposed to be basic. In our generation, the stuff you're talking about is basic, but because we're in this internet world, this Instagram, you know, instant gratification world, then hey, man, like we got to go back and, like you said, put it in your music and actually teach them, like, this is not cool. That's not how it's supposed to be. This is how we grew up. This is how we raised. And I mean, I think that's dope that you actually put it in the music form, and hopefully they can get some off it. You know what I'm saying? Sure.
Well, the thing is, we got to try something. I mean, we can't depend on religion 100%. We can't depend on politics 100%. We can't depend on education 100%. I've seen people with college degree in Belize kill people. I mean, at this point, what are we to depend on? In my opinion, music is one of the last pure things we have, because it's coming from us, the people that are feeling what's going on the most. And so we get to influence others through our struggles, through our triumphs, and everything that we face from day to day or in our lifetime in our past, you know. So when we put these kind of music out there, I believe that it resonates with people even more because they can relate. You know?
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing with music. I mean, once people can relate,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hit. You know what I'm saying?
That's what
It's
I'm
a hit
saying,
straight
man.
up. So I know you in tune what's going on back at the crib, man, and I'm pretty sure you saw we just had an election and all that stuff too, man. And
Yeah.
like me, I don't really get too caught up with
Nah, the
with the
politics.
election because it's just like I tell Kim, it's a different player, same game. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? But at the end of the day, they do have a new slate, but we do still face, to me, man, some of the worst situations, even worse than
Definitely.
when probably we were there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how do you how would you what kind of message do you have for the youngsters right now that's going through these situations, whether it's COVID, the flooding, whether it's the gang violence, the poverty, or just the basic treachery that's going on with the politicians, man?
Well, the thing is, I would like my whole upbringing. I've been told to speak on the truth and sound it, regardless of who's mad, who don't like it, or whatever. Because you can't please everybody, and somebody's not going to want to hear the truth.
Right,
Um, I was also taught to understand your value as an individual and understand that you make choices that affect you and others. So, like, people always tell me like, we don't understand how it is in the hood because, you know, they bring the drugs down there. And I'd be like, bro, you could bring 50 kilos of cocaine and throw it at my feet and I'll walk off and leave it right there. I don't have to touch it. You know,
that's
I mean,
right,
that's how I am. And I'm disciplined that way. Now, everybody's looking for an easy way out, but an easy way out is not always the best way out.
that's right,
So, and it's not always the only way out. So my thing to people is know your value, love what you value, like your family, your friends. Understand that one wrong decision could cost you or them their lives. It's that
right,
simple, you know, or you could ruin the lives of others. We got to start being our brother's keeper and truly start loving ourselves and love each other. Like, I mean, we really got to take it for what it is, as opposed to a quick money scheme. Like, I want to get by. I need some
right,
money. Let me just do this. My dad didn't have it easy. My mom never had it easy. I watched my auntie and my auntie husband raise 9 kids and sent every one of them to school, went to college and all that, and they didn't punch
right,
anybody clock.
right.
It's not,
Wow.
these
Yeah.
things are not impossible. They can be done. It's
Right,
called willpower. You got to
right,
want it. I mean, so if you in a situation, and I speak this all the time, if you in the hood and everybody over there is dying, everybody go stand on the street is getting shot or going to jail or doing this, then why are you going on the same corner? What do you expect to happen to you? Expect $1 million to fall and you become rich?
yeah. But
You know, it's
the thing
just
about
certain things are common sense, bro. You smoke cigarette, chances are you're gonna get cancer, you're gonna die. That's
yeah,
common sense, simple maths. You don't need a
yeah.
rocket science brain to figure this out.
Yeah, but see, I grew up in the hood too in Belize, man. I grew up in the south side of Belize City, you know what I'm saying? And I could tell you for just off rip, like for me, like I said, my outlet was basketball. That's how I got out of my situation, and I
Exactly.
figured it out, and went to college and all that. But man, I'll be honest with you, man, with this new, like I said, this new internet wave and the influence these kids got now, and so on and so forth, and it just seems like it's hard to find hope when the hopeless situation. You feel what I'm saying? And it's cool that we can sit here and say that right now. But at the end of the day, like I've known people now, man, where they're getting shot just to doing the right thing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and that's the
saying?
truth. It
You know what I'm
happens.
saying?
That's the truth.
There's kids who are trying to stay, trying to focus on
Hmm.
sports or whatever it is, just minding their own
I
business, and they're getting gunned
totally
down
agree.
now, man. So I don't even know what's the game plan or what's the proper way to navigate this new jungle that these guys got to go through, man. And
Well, for
it's
one,
just tough.
the thing is, I realized that in a country like Belize, you have to look to self for hope, bro. You can't look at nobody else because at the end of the day, as much as you would like to, you have to find a role model and be like, this person made it and this was their formula. This is what they did. Just for example, like you said, basketball, right? There's a
Right,
lot of talented people in all these hoods, like really talented. I mean, it might sound crazy, but I used to go to a certain part of Belize and there was this one female that braid everybody on the block here. And it took her
right.
no time. She was like, shh, all the styles you wanted in there, and she made a quick like $10 and all that. And to me, that's an awesome talent because if you were in America and you could do that here,
That's
trust
money.
me,
That's
this is
money.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying. But what we fail to do is learn how to capitalize on these things because what we fail to understand is we are the last natural resources we have in Belize, the people. We have
right.
to start
We are
valuing
the
each other and
resource.
our skills. Yeah,
Right.
we have to start valuing ourselves and our skills, bro, because if we don't, then we just get exploited, get used, and get tossed to the side and move on to the next. So what we have to understand is that as people, as individual, we have a lot of power. One man might be a barber, next lady might be the one to braid hair, next one might have a what you call a car washing business. And if we start utilizing each other for what we have, then we could grow. There's hope in all of this because the simple fact, as a community, if you start using each other for what your strengths are, then we could build on it. But if it becomes a thing where everybody's just individual in their own corner fighting the fight, then it's harder because, one man can't really fight the system, but together we can make a difference.
Right, I understand that, but I think the problem is too is that the role models that you're talking about are the politicians, and you and I know the politicians are just the schemers.
But there are other people in the community that can be role models. They choose to make. There are people who are business owners who are.
There's a lot of people and teachers, a lot of people that give back to the community.
Right.
I know a lot of people that say that, man, but a lot of people also look down on people like one of the biggest things I know is coming up from the Southside Belize, man, is like you go anywhere, they automatically give you that label, even though you're not on that. That's not you. Like you go on the north side or whatever. Oh, you from the south side? You automatically label you as a thug, as a gangster, as whatever comes with that stigma that comes to you being from whatever hood you from.
Yeah, exactly.
Follows you wherever. You know what I'm saying? So it's automatic with you. And I'm trying to explain. So it's not everyone has the mental capacity that you're talking about that can reason and say, okay, man, I'm gonna fight through this. A lot of people are weak. They're born weak because that's all they've been. They've been through weak situations. They've never seen people who rise up. They don't even know people who rise up above that situation. They came up from a long line of this nonsense. Yeah. And you're asking these same people now to somehow miraculously find this inspiration that, to me, that's unique to certain people to get out of that. I think that's a lot to ask of these people, man.
Look, I'll tell you this, though. When we find those people, those 1 in like 100 or 1 in every 1,000 or whatever, those are the people we need to start rallying around and start sent to give back and talk and walk people through their steps because it's necessary. And that's why when I was down there, I went to the Department of Youth Services and I offered to whatever it was that I was able to interject myself in or my experiences in. I was willing to do that, and I still am because of the simple fact I understand that it's a challenge when you haven't had anybody close to you become successful or become great at anything other than a career of crime and just being locked up and this kind of stuff. So I understand that. But the thing is, we have to all understand that as an individual, we have to start thinking that there's consequences for every choice and every decision that we make. And so we have to think, like, take our time and think when we're about to do something because the repercussions could be irreversible at sometimes, so we have to really start thinking and be responsible for our actions. We have to start to understand what that is when we become grown. We can't be kids forever, and we're not going to just get a pat on the shoulders. I'm like, yeah, well, you know what, go sit in the corner. It's going to be a whole different ballgame when you reach a certain age. So we have to start understand the seriousness of these decisions that we make. Like, for example, right now, a lot of youths in Belize might not understand the importance of having a passport and getting a visa, but that might be your only ticket to some kind of success with the given situation and the circumstances you have at this point. It might be simple as somebody might be like, look, man, I need people to drive cars from Texas or whatever to Belize or whatever. You got a visa, whatever, I give you a job. Come on, let's go. You get to see outside of Belize. You get to understand how the world works. Right. Who knows what that door that might open for you. Right. So we have to understand the importance of having a clean police record at all costs because at the end of the day, we just limited ourselves of a great opportunity because the minute you get a police record, there's no visa for you. There's no leaving where you are. So we have to start teaching people the importance of some of these things that they might not even be thinking about when they're young, but we have to do it from they're young because the police and the system will quickly give you a record, and that means that your wings are clipped. You are bind to this situation forever, pretty much. These things might not seem important, but it is important because there's nothing like a person that can go to the embassy and actually get a visa and leave the country and get to explore the world and see how people operate, see how business really runs and other stuff that there's no, not to say that there's not corruption, but you get to see things run the way they should because it's not like a bunch of, a handful of big fish in a small pond trying to control everything.
Right. I think a lot of people look at it and say, yeah, that's a viable option there, but I also know too that the reality on the ground is a little bit different because I know a lot of people, especially where I came from, mom and dad wasn't even there. Mom and dad probably here in the States, so grandma's raising them. Grandma pretty much have no control, have no money, had nothing, and this youth is just out there, you know what I'm saying, trying to figure it out. And you know, like you said, 1-2 bad movement is a game over. You know what I'm saying? And that seems to be the never-ending cycle. So, like you said, we could just probably try to catch him at a very young age and probably put him in an environment where
we just gotta influence him.
Yeah, put him in a bad environment, and I think we have a chance. But that's what's up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it takes people like us though. To give back to their community, because we just talked about that. Who do they look up to? You say politicians, right? And we know that's
wrong.
That's the wrong move. So it does take a community to do.
So Nego, I'm gonna challenge you, man, because like I said, for me personally, I think you're very successful where you at right now in your career. I think just the mere fact that you stick with it, man, you got out of the situation, you're making great music. You know what I mean? You're visible. You know what I mean? The voice is great. I really think it's upon you now to not only keep producing and what you got to do with your music, but you also have an obligation now. Each one teach one. Bring as much as you can behind you. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And for me, that is actually a joy because I've always wanted the opportunity to be able to help, and I feel like working so hard doing what I'm doing, that it automatically gave me that opportunity rather than me going in there and interjecting myself. It just came to the point where I have a few people reaching out to me, and I'm always here. Like I tell people, link me on Facebook if you have any questions, anything that's music related that you want to figure out anything. And if I don't know the answer to it, I'm gonna research. I'm gonna call people that's higher up the food chain and ask them, that kind of stuff, because I feel we can do a lot with music and we could go a lot of places with music. Music is like a meal ticket. The thing is, people don't understand. Music is like a great pension plan because your royalty checks keep coming in as time go by and all that stuff. Right. So, for some of the youth that have nothing else but time on their hand, music is a great, great suggestion for them because you can write lyrics. You can spend time getting it, working your craft out, making sure everything is on point. The only problem I have is sometimes what I hear is I could tell who influenced some of these younger artists because they sound exactly like who influenced them, and that's the only thing I don't like that too much. I like originality. Yeah. What I believe that they need to start getting influenced by is the artists that they like, work ethics,
right?
The quality, the content, the styles, and all that stuff. But don't sound like the artists because they could never be another Vybez Cartel. Right. They can never be another Bob Marley. They can't be the next Dennis Brown. There's one of that already. You got to be the first you.
Of course.
People look at me and say, "Hey, you kind of remind us of Turbulence, or you kind of remind us of Pressure." No, I remind you of Nego HIGHTS.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you gotta separate yourself. I was influenced heavily by Sizzla Kalonji, and I met Sizzla, talked to him and everything, and I realized that we don't sound alike, and I was happy about that because of the simple fact, when you're doing music, you want to be original because that's what makes you stand out.
Right.
And that is the thing that people are going to remember the most about you, the fact that you stand out. Mm-hmm. Like I remember last year, September, I went to California and I performed on the September celebration show out there for the first time. I was a little bit worried because of the simple fact I know how my people are, especially in Chicago, when it comes down to me doing reggae at one of those kind of events because they tend to want to hear punta, broke down, or soca and that kind of stuff. But it was like the energy with the band and everything and running out on the stage and the vibe that when I got off stage, people couldn't believe, like most people didn't even believe I was Belizean.
Right.
Like most people don't believe I'm Belizean at all. And I'm like, why would you not believe that it can be done? If our brothers in other countries and other islands are doing it, those are our brothers. They're an extension of us. If they can do it, why do you think we can't?
Right.
So the thing is originality, man. I really push for originality. I
noticed you work with my man too, man. John Miracle, man. That's my homeboy from that's my man.
John Miracle's a real soldier.
Yeah, man. Me and the man go up like from way back. Like we go up together, man. You know what I'm saying? So we
John Miracle is a real soldier. I dig him up anyway. Me and Miracle, we have a real good Link, because right now, as a matter of fact, he's featured on my new album right now. This dancehall album, we have a track together named "Show Me."
Okay.
So me and Directly, we definitely do some work, and we're gonna be shooting a video for that too. So look out for that, because with this project, it's like 9 tracks and an intro, and the goal is to shoot 9 videos. Okay. So we're trying to definitely work on a whole nother different level of things the way we plan to do this album.
That's what's up.
And when are you dropping the new album?
I'm shooting for about March.
Next year.
Yeah.
So you gotta do a show in Belize, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the thing is,
you gotta line something up. I might have to do it myself.
No, because I've been thinking about this, talking about this. I have even like my brethren Turbulence and them. They always come to me like, "Yo, Nate, let's do a show in Belize, man. Let's go to Belize to do a show in your place." And all the time, like, "Yo, brethren, let's get the thing right," because when it comes down to the politics of everything, it's like you approach the people that do the shows and nobody want the show. But if you were to just get up and go and do the show, they'll find all the reason to block you from doing the show. So there's always this kind of politics. But I've realized that when it comes down to it, I'm from the village. I find an open spot, build a stage, put a tent up, do whatever I got to do, and I'll bring the people out. So I don't care. Like, my thing is just like pretty much unstoppable, because I don't get caught in the politics of things in the city and all that, with venues and all this. And no, I take it to a farm then.
Yeah.
I'll charter a few buses and I'll have them run, in and out and take people in. I mean, I'll do what it takes. So
we can make it happen. Yeah.
Listen, man, I'm thinking about doing something like that for a bunch of Belize artists, man. So I
want
to keep it
ready, bro.
Is there any Belizean artists in Belize right now that you have your eyes on that you think could be really good, like the next great thing out of Belize?
To be honest, when it comes to a male vocalist, I think TR Shine have a pretty good shot. I'm still not 100% sure what he's doing. I mean, I realize now that it might be soca full time, but I know he's great all around. Okay. He's definitely talented, great all around. There's a bunch of TR Shine.
TR Shine, okay.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of other young ones, and there's some females that's coming up that's real great too. There's Britney Starr, there's Deja. I mean, you have your Denise Castillo and your Ernestine and all that. I mean, but you have a lot of young talent that really haven't gotten that opportunity to really showcase themselves outside of Belize and all that. And this is why I tend to reach out and I work with so much of them. Like, I try my best to work with them because I feel that whatever I have gathered here in this part of the world, I could, be, by extension, it could be theirs if we work together. Right. And this is why I kind of reach out so much to young and upcoming artists. Don't get me wrong, I can't work with everybody, and my management team is kind of like strict, and they would not allow me to just jump on anything with anybody, which makes sense. But I try my best to create a niche where I could help as much as possible, and if I have to get on something with somebody, I'll do it. But I can't promise everybody that I'll just jump, because if an artist is just not ready, they're just not ready, and I can't. It's like we've been going for almost like for 10 years strong doing what we're doing, and we've been building. So it's like we don't plan to exactly go backwards, but not that we won't help somebody up. Right, but we're not going to go and do certain things. So like I said, most of what I do, like when it comes to collab, I have to run it through my management team and have them like listen and be like, okay, well, we think this artist can hold their own. It sounds good. It can work or whatever. So I still don't even have the final say to like yes or no to this. Right.
Okay. So you still got a team that actually, sit down and y'all come up with the gameplay. That's cool though.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what's up, man.
Teamwork make the dream work, bro.
We
got to be this far, So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So the one of the leading songs on your new album is "Bad Man Get the Best of Them." Tell me what the inspiration is for that.
Well, I mean, I've seen like people, even family members, and a lot of the songs I write is like some of the things are from my past, some of it from like my friend's experience or situation that I've seen. And I remember that, my auntie at one point told my mom that, "You see that boy? I told nothing but a gangbanger." And those type of things that you tell them and this and that and all these things and I've heard her kids picked it up and they kind of like, everybody and I look back and I see the things that her kids are doing now, and my aunt is dead and gone now, but I've seen her kids do certain things. I was like, I would have never do that in my wildest moment. So, and I start look back at these things and sometimes I just write songs based on these, and then like there's other situations here, like it's like when I'm going through a day like and I read the news from Belize, it's like 100 songs come in my head because there's so many different things happening. And so I kind of like slow down from the news period. Even here, cut out my cable and turn off my news and all that things, stop watch TV and all that, cause it's not about bad news, and then it kind of depressed in a certain way, but it also allows me to write a lot. But I realized that a lot of my music was just dealing with that kind of stuff, and I'm at the point where I want to start dealing with some happy stuff too. Right. I mean, some stuff that will relax and soothe your mind, you know, something that will take you to a next level and a place of calm. You don't want to always be hearing about who died and who got molested and who this and that. I mean, it needs to be said, it needs to be heard, you know, but at the same time, you can't just make a whole entire career out of just doing just that. So I decided that I want to cut all that and ease off the social media, ease off the news and all that stuff, and try to make music that was about people feeling good about themselves and being happy within their skin, you know, just being themselves.
Right. Okay. That's the talent, though, man. You just hear something, see something, come up with something.
I mean, it's that crazy, though. It's that crazy. It's like I have songs for like almost all my friends that died. I wrote a song for them. It seemed like. And even like about 3 months ago, one of my brethren got shot here in Chicago and died, and I did a song for him, and I told myself I'm not going to record it because it seemed like I have like too much of these songs. Like even, I mean, once upon a time they had this girl, Nisa Pipersberg, that the student from Pelote that they found this was probably like early 2000. I did a song for that. I did a song for my brethren that died it was the 19th of November, 3 years ago. They flipped over in a car at a bridge.
That's my man. That's my man too, Smurf. Man, my man Smurf died on that, man.
Yeah, there was Lanzo and Harold. All right, they were bona fide from here. We used to be on the set rolling.
But my man Smurf from LA. Yeah, you know I'm from LA, so Smurf was out there, got went to Belize, and he died.
All right, so I did a song for them. Then the soldiers that died in the helicopter crash, I did a song for them. Yeah, and I realized, like, okay, let's do some song for living people now too, because because I believe these people are worthy of being remembered, and so I capture that in a song. But at the same time, I want to actually make sound that living people can enjoy too, you know. So I kind of like disconnected from that a little, and I was like, let me go into something else. But I got, like I said, I got a bunch of songs that for that kind of stuff that I haven't even recorded, because I look at it, I was like, maybe I shouldn't. I mean, it irks me because sometimes I want to record it, because especially when me and somebody have a connection or we're close, or it's like somebody that I feel like deserve to be remembered, like the soldiers. I couldn't let that one pass me. I had to do a song for them, because that was like, I mean, to me personally, there's like the most honorable people we have left in the country, because we can't look to politicians, and every pastor is not great. So, I mean, they were like honorable people to me because they took an oath to like give their life for their country. So I respect that to the utmost. So I had to do that. I couldn't let that one pass. So, but I've kind of let myself go for a minute, and I'm starting to do more feel good music, like talk about women, their beauty, let them understand the importance of them being virtuous, you know, and just being upful. You don't have to be in the dance doing the most and all that kind of stuff. Like most people tell you to do and all that stuff. See if something's in your bedroom, you know.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's what's up, man. So that's dope. You got anything else, man?
No, you have anything else? Any final words you want to leave the audience with, man?
Well, we just want to tell people, sir, find your purpose, find your value, and then you express that in everything you do, and make sure you always look out for somebody else, because each one teach one, iron sharpen iron. Me personally have been traveling this road pretty much alone, without, like, say, the support of Belize, but never without Belize on my mind. So I'm not dependent on individuals or the country to really support or fund my motivation, but I realized that however it goes, I personally got to make this stand alone, but I represent them at the end of the day. Whatever I do is because of them. It's because I want people to look back and be like, I could do it because somebody came from a little village that had one road, no electricity, no running water, and they're on this biggest stage with some of the biggest names in the world. So, I mean, you can do it. You have to want it, and you have to tell yourself that every fiber of your being is going to be dedicated to working towards what you want. And have tunnel vision. Be called selfish. Do it, because only you can make you successful at the end of the day. I mean, anybody else is just going to contribute to your downfall more than, I mean, to your rise, you know? So you got to be responsible for you at some point.
That's right.
That's right. All right, man. And, you know, it was a pleasure having you up here, man, giving you this platform.
Likewise.
Respect, man.
Yeah, it's been great. So from Change the Narrative, this is Nego HIGHTS, new album dropping March
Yes, sir.
2021. Check it
That's right.
out. Check out the music.
You gotta get Nego in Belize for that show,
We're
man.
getting him in
You gonna work on
Belize.
that, Nego. You gonna
Just
work
let
on
me
that.
know, bro.
Trust
I'm
me.
ready.
You
I'm
gotta
ready.
work
I'm
on
ready.
that.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right.
Working on the bands now. Working on the bands now. So we're
All
gonna
right,
be
cool.
doing stuff.
All right,
All
cool.
right. Change the Narrative. Episode 37 is a wrap.
Peace,
Let's.
my
Peace
man.
out.
All right.
Yes.
Take it
See you
easy.
later.
All
Bye.
right. All right.